Okay, so for the calves, start above the Achilles tendon a little ways where the muscle is. And we usually put one leg on top of the other. It's going to add a little bit of weight while you're rolling. You'll hold it in a spot. If you don't feel it, go ahead, Sammy, show her how you lift up. You can go ahead and lift up. It'll put a little more pressure in the calf. Usually I only have to do these with people that are super, super sensitive in their calves. Otherwise, we like to use the tennis ball. So Sammy, same thing, show her. You'll put it, yep, but Sam's starting a little high. You'd start again down by the Achilles, about that. Hold it, and then move it a little bit. Hold it, and you will stop before you get to your knee joint, so at the top of the calf, but before you get to the joint, and then work your way back down the leg again. All right. Okay, so for the peroneals, which I told you when that muscle gets tight, it goes down the leg, wraps under the foot, and inserts there. It causes you to go flat-footed. So this is a good one, especially if you're already pronating naturally from anatomy. So she's in a perfectly straight line. We're above the ankle. We're on the meat, the muscle. Okay, go ahead and lift up, Sammy. So shoulders are aligned. Yep. Hips are straight, body straight. Hold it, and then you can drop down, move about 1/2 inch, lift back up. This one can get tiring, especially if the core is weak or if you've got shoulder issues. So another option, if you don't want to do it that way, would be to use a tennis ball. And you can actually add pressure if you want to get a little bit more. But the idea is you want to press down, don't move, hold it 20 to 30 seconds, and then move it again to a different area. I find that up here towards the top gets pretty tender, and also down through here the most. Even rubbing it manually using some lotion though, right?
We call it a C-sharp string.
Yeah, when she gets really tight through there, you can pluck it. But yeah, sometimes we'll take some lotion and just kind of rub up the leg and kind of hook right over here towards the calf to kind of work on that one. All right, so for the quads, if you're tender, go ahead, Sammy, get on. Do 2 legs at a time. And again, you want to be below the hip bones, below the pelvis, on the thigh. Legs straight. Your toes drag on the floor. They don't lift off. And same thing, you want your spine aligned here. You want your shoulders aligned over the elbow, and you're holding your abs in like a plank. Go ahead and walk out, Sammy, till you find a tender spot. And then you're going to hold it on that tender spot. Same rules apply here. Again, you're going to go about 2 fingers or a couple inches above the kneecap. That's where you're going to stop, and then work your way back up the thigh again. All right, Sammy, show her if that's too easy, if there's no tender spots. You can do 1 thigh at a time. So what you're going to do is, yep, go to the edge of the roller, or if you have a short roller, you can do it this way. Yep, and then you're going to inch that way and let your other leg hang off the edge. Yep, like an army crawl. Okay. All right, everyone's favorite is the IT bands. You want to be in straight alignment from your toes to the hip to the shoulder. Your chin is, yep, up. Shoulders over the elbow here. And you are below the hip. You maybe go a little bit lower, Sam, to start, so that you're on the thigh. Yeah. Okay. So IT band, what you want to do is roll and hold for 20 to 30 seconds till the tender starts to go away. And then you can roll a little bit further. You want to make sure that you don't break at the hips. If this is too intense, you can take your top leg here, bend it. There you go. And you can put it like that so that the weight from the top leg isn't pressing as much. Once you work down the side, stop about 2 fingers or an inch or 2 above the knee, because you don't want to go on the tendons there, and then work your way back up the thigh. You can also lean slightly towards the quad forward or slightly back towards the hamstring, if right along the side where the seam of your pants would be, if that's not tender anymore. You can get anywhere in between because that whole tendon sheath goes through here. All right. So for piriformis, you're going to sit in the middle of your roller, cross 1 leg over. I pull the opposite knee to the opposite shoulder, so she has her left knee going towards the right shoulder. that intensifies it. If you feel it without that, that's okay. Go ahead, lean towards, yep, the side that is open. So if your left leg is crossed over, you're gonna lean over to the left. And you can roll slightly on or off the roller. It's not much movement. What we're trying to get is the piriformis over by the hip area through here. That's pretty much that one, but it's a big one. Okay, so underneath your feet, the plantar area region, you can roll it back and forth. Tennis balls are great. Frozen water bottles are good because they're also cold. You can press on just the heel area, or you can go up by the ball of the foot and press and hold. So I will roll it a couple times just because it feels good, and then I'll find those tender spots just like everything else and press and hold. So helping with your upper body, a lot of people have poor posture. You might even notice with your students already from sitting at computers, their shoulders round out, their head's a little bit forward. So we're gonna work on the chest so that we're gonna open up the chest a little bit and the lats right through here, right, Sam? Mm-hmm. And then pulling that chin back so that you're not forward. So this is gonna be for the lats. Go ahead and lay on your side, Sammy. Yep, perfectly straight line with your body, good. And you are below the armpit, arm out straight, so from your toes to your fingertips, you're in a straight line. That hand, you can turn it open, yep. So it's gonna help us get the lats a little bit more. And really, you're just on the rib cage here. If you don't feel it, you can lean towards the chest forward a little, or you can open up, lean back a little, or you can move up or down 1/2 inch to 1 inch. It's not a big motion, but if you do feel a tender spot, you're gonna notice it up here or a pull in the armpit region. Or if you're really tight, you might even feel it where the lats insert kind of by the hip. And just hold like all the other ones. We're gonna get upper back and rhomboid region. I have her starting with this placed at the bottom of the rib cage, or for ladies, I usually say at your bra strap at the bottom there. Her hips are down. They're going to remain down throughout all of this. And go ahead, put your hands behind your head, honey. Yep, it's gonna open up your chest too. So go ahead and slowly roll to your shoulders. Scooch. Yep. Yeah, and keep sliding your bottom on the ground. You can walk your feet a little if you have to. There you go. So once you get towards the shoulders, then what you're gonna do is go ahead and work the other direction again. And when you find tender spots, hold, but keep those hips down on the ground and let your back arch over. Let the head, the neck, everything go over. Support the neck though, so that you're not pinching. You don't want to get the vertebrae pinched back here. So we're opening through the chest. We're opening, we're getting some good rib cage motion. And we're also getting your mid-low traps, rhomboids, all that fun stuff. So Sammy's sitting at the very end of the roller for me. Her tailbone is right there at the very bottom. Go ahead, slowly lay back for everyone, Sammy. All right, good. So she's laying, the roller is not really on her spine. It's on the muscles on each side of her spine. And then knee alignment, you should just get used to having your feet about hip width apart and knees spaced apart as well so that everything's even. Your arms should be about chest height. So open them up in the T. There we go. So she's laying out like this. So the first part of this is I have you lay there for about 1 minute. What we're doing is we're opening up and stretching through the chest region. Then it's also resting along the muscles, the erectors along the spine, helping those relax. After 1 minute, go ahead to the next position, Sam. Arms straight up. Yep. So alignment, again, your wrists, your elbows, and shoulders should all line up here. And what we do is about a minute. I either do 60 total or 30 on each side. Punches. Go ahead, one at a time. Punch up and down, up and down. Again, it's important to, in between, pause so that, Sammy, do them quick together so you're not rolling on the roller like that. Yep, so punch down, and keep those arms over the shoulders. Go ahead. So you'll feel the muscles in between the shoulder blades are kind of getting massaged and kneaded. Okay, so 1 minute of T's, 1 minute of this, and then Sammy, show her W's. As we do 15 W's with her hands. Shape of a W and then overhead. Shape of a W. Good, and you can reach further up Yep, as long as there's no pain, keep that W form. And I usually do about 10 to 15 of these. Good, and go back to your T, Sammy. As long as there's no neck issues, to help with posture, I'll even do a cervical one where you're laying like this. And you're not tucking your chin. Your chin stays like that the whole time. But what you're gonna do is, just for maybe 2-3 seconds, press the back of your head against the roller. And then relax. And then press against the roller and relax. So it's like you're pressing from your forehead straight down. So it's gonna help with a lot of the cervical muscles that are tight through there. Especially people that have like the forward posture from sitting at computers and doing stuff like that all day. Help relax through there. So there's that one.